Hey, our first guest from BC is Byron Carpenter. He's a high school teacher. He's also chairman of the board of a church that I served at for a while, right in Abbotsford. And I'm inviting him on the program today to give us an update from his perspective as a teacher, but also as one of the significant church leaders in the area. Bryon, so good to see you again. Glad you're with us.
Hi, Mike. Thanks for having me. Nice to see you again, too.
Yeah, my stomach was in my mouth when I realized the place we hung out, the Starbucks, the Timmy's, all that place, it was on a little piece of land that was above the floodplain. I was saying, wow, that brought it to home. But set the scene for us on the ground today. What's happening now, days after the flood has hit?
Days after the flood hit. So the flood hit last Tuesday. The water level rose. We watched it through the day. And by the end of the day on Tuesday, we were in full flood state. You can see a picture behind me. That's the interchange, Mike, right near that A&W and Tim Hortons that you talked about earlier. It's above water there. But, you know, the people, you can see other way. The people are getting boated from that little island back to Watcombe Road where they can get off. And, it was incredible, just absolutely incredible and mind-blowing to see how fast the water rose. It rose so quickly. And it's one of those types of catastrophes that's quiet. You know, if you're not paying attention, you'll miss it, right? And then it sneaks up on you.
I want to talk about the emotional well-being of the people. They're pretty beat up already in BC from the wildfires. And now the flooding. What are you hearing from residents right now?
There's a lot going on. It's just really, really heavy right now with you know, what else is coming. And 2 weeks ago, we were like, well, you know, we're almost at the end of the year. And then we get this atmospheric river that blows through and floods the banks of the Nooksack River, that floods the valley, and even around in Clayburn Village on the other side that's not even attached to this part of the valley, that, you know, there's flooding everywhere. We've got roads being washed out. We've got, you know, on the Trans-Canada and the Coquihalla Highway that connect the Lower Mainland and the rest of Canada to the Lower Mainland here, and it's heavy. People are discouraged a bit, but right now I see a spirit of community I've never seen a spirit of community like this before, as people are stepping into doing whatever they need to do to be able to serve and help one another. It's just absolutely incredible. So there's great.
Let me ask you about that.
Here.
Let me ask you about that, because
Yes.
we serve together at Mountain Park Community Church, which is just literally up the street.
Yes.
And another friend of ours, Cam Stewart, is down in Arnold, which is right in the floodplain.
Yes.
Give me one great story and just talk to me about how the churches are responding, because that's a powerful thing. Even Samaritan's Purse has come in as the command post headquarters in the TradeX building. So give me a couple stories.
All right. So a story, I hadn't actually touched any of the flood other than seeing pictures like I've got behind me, seeing the water out in the valley. But on Sunday, I went down to Arnold Community, where a friend of mine lives, to lend a hand at his house. And Arnold Community Church that you talked about, Cam Stewart's church down there in Arnold, they got their basement filled with water. And so they've got some significant damage there. But as a church and a community church that they are, their community stepped up and they had food and drinks for the people that came down to their community from elsewhere, like from Mission across the other side of the Fraser River. Yep. There was a group that came from Mission Hills to my friend's house, and he had only met these people in the morning, and he had 20 people working in his home taking out drywall and insulation. And it was a privilege to be able to do that. That was just absolutely incredible. Other things that are going on that same site on Sunday, there was an actual angel. He walked up the driveway. He was tall. He goes, "I'm from a construction company and I'm here to help. What can we do?" And by that point, pardon me?
That's amazing.
I know. And by that point, I was like in the office trying to take apart cabinetry to get the drywall off the walls. And I didn't know how to do it. And we're like, "Come with me." And so we came in, and him and we worked together, and he knew what he was doing for an hour and a half and got that job done. Right. Other things that I've seen in our community, we've got people guys that work at Fred's Custom Tackle, the fishing shop, Mike, that I've gone to, they're out there in their jet boats in the floodplain last Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, driving across fields that are flooded with their jet boats to go get people at their homes to get them out of the evacuation zone.
Well, Bryon, I want to bring Julie into the conversation. She has a question for you as well.
Sure.
Well, more of a comment. It's just amazing that just when we feel like we're losing faith in humanity with all the negative stuff we hear constantly in the news, that you are sharing these amazing stories of people that are stepping up and helping others that don't even know these people. I think that is one of the most encouraging things for me to hear today.
Bryon, how can people support the people in Abbotsford? We got about 30 seconds. Tell us how we can do that.
All right. You can go to, if you want to find places you can donate or get involved, you can go to our church website. Actually, it's mpcc.ca and /flood-response. And that page has a number of different opportunities that people could donate monies to. And Samaritan's Purse is even on there. You want to donate to Samaritan's Purse, that will help out the flood effort out here in British Columbia, because they're doing probably 80% of the work of people getting back into their homes and being in a livable space. So that's really important. Also, Mennonite Central Committee and Mennonite Disaster Services, they're on that website as well. So that they are going to be, they're helping also in Princeton and in Merritt, which are other flood zones in our province, not just in Abbotsford. So Abbotsford is not an isolated event. We've got flooding going on all over our province, which affects supply lines. And that's the kind of pressure that we're feeling, is that people that aren't actually touching the water are feeling that we're being asked to limit our gas intake in our cars to 30 liters of fill and other things like that. So those are some of the ways that you can give and you can help.
Well, Bryon, thank you. Give my love to the people, especially at the church.